Eccoci qua anche questo pomeriggio. Io sono nella azienda di Matteo Consolini, se ve lo ricordate, il fotografo di Reggio Emilia che fa le foto industriali per Max Mara. Invece Marcus è a New York. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Well, good afternoon or evening in your case, actually.
Here is afternoon, 4 p.m.
Almost jealous of that time because my day would be done almost.
And what day is today?
For me, today's Saturday.
And the number?
It is, what is it, the 17th of August?
18.
18th. Oh, wow. I'm bad.
Today, 18th of September, now in Italy is 4 p.m. and this is the 258 live today.
So the year's, what, 3/4 of the way over now?
And I make a rapid question that I don't know if you can answer, but I see on Messenger the answer. When we meet us?
When did we meet? We met over Facebook, I believe.
Yeah.
When?
And the day is was the 12th of September 2017.
Oh, wow. It's been that long.
4 years ago. I see your fabulous photo that you make around New York City.
Probably it's me in Times Square taking pictures of people, probably, I'm assuming.
So tell me about you. Who is Marcus?
Who is Marcus? I am a highly confused person. I can't even answer that question myself. I mean, all I do is just like, I just try to find something fascinating, beautiful, or even sometimes just dark and twisted about people that I photograph. It varies. I just take pictures of people, or and actually animals and other things that they just don't want me taking.
What is the feeling with the other people when you make photograph? Because the first question, the first word I write you on Messenger was that our type of photography are so similar. I like so much go in the city or big or small city and live live the other lives. You understand it?
I'm doing my best to. I think what the thing is that there's just like a certain like documentation aspect of photography that some people just aren't really used to, and sometimes it makes them uncomfortable because it depicts people in their real life. It's like it's like that moment in time where they think that they're protected and that they're in their private life, but they're really not. And sometimes documenting that and displaying that out to people makes people feel uncomfortable when in reality the unfiltered aspect of humanity is what makes people people, and in it what's it's what makes them fascinating, if I'm saying it right.
And the feeling with the other people, you normally ask to make photo, or like me, you have the big zoom and stay on the other side of the street and shooting.
Oh, I'm all over the place. Like sometimes people just know I'm there because it's like I don't really do like the street photography stuff with a big zoom too often. So usually I'm either in their face, somewhere diagonal, or a little bit of everything. Oh, that's my model friend Rachel.
This is my favorite photo.
Oh, thanks. We did that on a photo shoot. It was a fun shoot. I have to shoot with her again.
How is the situation in New York with the people? Is like a small city, or in a big city people don't speak one by one, or make a couple of people? No, you understand?
Oh, with people, it's kind of not everybody. It feels like has like the same reaction to this, and it's like I guess I have gotten kind of sort of used to it because I have like this. I have no choice but to get used to it. But others, I mean, I kind of do wish people were taking it more seriously. I mean, I got vaccinated. Some people are fighting to not get vaccinated and stuff like that. But it seems like in New York, they've outside of like some people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it seems pretty. It's not 100% back to normal, but it's closer to normal now than it was back in March 2020 when we went full lockdown and stuff like that. So it's like you see people actually living a life now and exploring the city and buying clothes and other stuff. I mean, I don't ever want to take it back to lockdown because the city would just be dead and there's no money like circulating into the economy and stuff like that. But I do wish people would kind of get past their own personal beliefs and get vaccinated just to make sure they can keep other people safe. And that's probably the most I'm going to say about the coronavirus because I am not a doctor. I am not a leading authority on the whole thing.
Mhm. And you go out to make photo during this period from 1 years and half ago.
Oh, yeah, it took me a bit to get back out there because I was afraid, just like everybody else. I'm human. I was worried about catching corona and dying and stuff like that. But eventually, I mean, I think because my work started picking back up with photography stuff, and the last thing I want to do is like go on a job, and I am just like completely unused to holding a camera. Because if I'm that on a shoot, I'm useless. I started going back out there and get my muscle memory of cameras back because you have to have it because you have to be able to think on your feet, like as soon as a situation happens, you can't be dumb to it. So I started doing that, and I just get back comfortable. It's like part of my weekly routine again, and it's like I kind of like the whole thing kind of made me like rethink a couple of like choices, but it's like I'm happy to still be taking pictures. Oh, that is such an old one, but it's like one of my favorites.
Normally, what is your kind of photo you like to do?
Random things, people. I mean, I tend to be drawn to.
Monica say goodbye to you because she must go quickly.
Oh God, people are actually watching this thing. Are they enjoying it? But yeah, bye, Monica. Um, what's the question?
What kind of photo you prefer make do?
Oh, what do I prefer to make? I mean, I really like the candid aspects of like street photography, but it's like that's basically how I started photography. Like I learned photography basically in the streets of New York and making all of my dumb mistakes during that time period because you gotta learn somehow. But I mean, I tend to be drawn to like a lot of different things, from like straight to wildlife to landscapes. Like at some point, I'm trying to get a macro lens so I could start doing macro shots and stuff like that, portraits, like as much as I can possibly do. Like I think the only thing I can't do is go into space and photograph the Earth. But I mean, if it's not that, I'd like to at least do it once.
We meet ourselves on the Space Dragon. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Actually, Nikon actually featured that picture. It was surprising to me. I love birds.
Here you are in Central Park or the other side? Central
I'm in
Park.
Central Park, yeah.
There is a lot of birds, different birds.
That's a great blue heron. The thing is just
How
eating
is
fish in front of me.
how is the Central Park for a New Yorker? New Yorker is correct.
It's in New York, yeah.
And the people who live in New York is New Yorker. Okay. Central Park, how a New Yorker live it?
How do people who live in New York like Central Park, I'm assuming?
Is like a normal park or is
Oh,
like
it's a pretty big park.
a reserve?
Like it's a pretty big park. It's like I am actually surprised the amount of things that fly in through Central Park. To be honest, because like up until like 2 years ago, I think I had no idea that you get like the great white egret and you get several herons, stuff like a freaking like a barred arrow that fly in. It's like I'm always surprised that what comes in through this place. It's like sometimes you get these little these little smaller birds that fly all over the place. They're like almost impossible to get a picture of. It's just like it's always surprising what you see in Central Park sometimes.
I think that I come a day in New York. I go directly in Central Park and I don't go on the avenue or on the street because I like so much go inside the nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like certain parts of the park isn't the path. The park is like the wooded areas that you really aren't supposed to be going. Sometimes it's like you see like the more interesting aspects of like the nature part of New York in the more off beaten paths of Central Park. I also have like that same conclusion in Prospect Park. There's like you really just limited me to like 10 pictures, but I could have showed you like so many different things that I have seen in some of these parks. Because like 10 for everything that I photograph is just like it's such a small thing. My other friend. That's a portrait session. Love that picture.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And is possible live all New York, not live, excuse me, see, is possible to see all the corner of New York in one life?
In one life, I'm pretty sure of it. But you have to really be out there constantly exploring like all of New York and like the outer boroughs and like the upper portions of New York. I mean, because there's New York City and then there's New York State. And New York State is pretty big, and it's like I have not seen a lot of New York State. I've seen a good portion of New York City. There's like places I haven't been to yet, like places I want to go. It's like it's a city that kind of like rewards exploration a little bit, especially if you're a photographer. Because
You tell me.
yeah, because like you could go to like the same part of New York City, and it's like the more different types of people that populate it, kind of shape your shot a little bit because everybody brings like their own personal. They bring their own personality to the photograph and to that particular part of central of New York City. Yes, I could stay outside of my office building all day and just photograph people. And it's like every other person would bring their own thing to that shot, even if the background is completely the same. It's like you just have to like find the individuals and find what makes everything work. It's like New York City is fun to photograph.
And have you ever been in helicopter
No, uh,
on upstairs New York?
no, I kind of wouldn't mind it, but it's like I think I know too much about helicopters to want to be in one. So no, and it's like I don't like heights either. So it's like I kind of like I dodge helicopters. It's a fun shoot. Ah, yes, that's a good one. A nice candid picture.
Times Square.
Yep,
Uh,
pretty sure this is at me at night. Might have been Valentine's Day for all I know. I do like that picture. I love the fact that you can just see her eyes under the shadow of the brim of the hat. It's a great picture, and she just has like such determination.
how a New York, the people of the world see or look New York, and how a New Yorker look the rest of the world.
I mean, I'm probably the last person to ask what a New Yorker looks like, because like so many people pass through New York, whether they're like as a tourist or as a college student or as like for me, I guess the New Yorker is the New Yorker as long as they're in New York. I mean, some people are born here and it's like they never lose into the New York aspect of themselves. They're like don't like no matter where they go, it's like I guess because like just like our attitude, the attitudes of like New York or something like this. But what does a New Yorker look like? I mean, what does anybody look like to me at this point? I just photograph people, and it's like I can't even remember the faces of the people that I meet if I photograph them. It's like I just see people at this point. It's like I guess I just see vibes and color palettes and moods and background blur and whatnot.
And what do you like more of New York, and what do you like more of USA?
I mean, what I like about America in and of itself is the diversity of what's in this country. You can find everything in this country. You can find everything in Manhattan. It's like a couple of weeks ago, I think I found like an African acting student and got kind of talked into a photo shoot with him. It's like that's what makes this country beautiful to me. It's the diversity of everybody that is allowed to be in here. It's like if you're a person, you can be here. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's like people are trying to fight that aspect of this country are just ignorant to me about or just ignorant about what this country how this country got started. That's just what it is. Like that's my opinion of it though. But I mean diversity is beautiful. That's my standpoint on the whole thing. That's what makes everything beautiful. You're not gonna see the same type of person like everywhere. That's fascinating to me, and I like it. It's like you can't give that up in this country and still want America to be America.
Have you ever been in Europe or other side?
No, I would love to be. I really have to like get my passport situation started and get my travel money like saved up and just pick a place and go there because like everybody I know travels, they have no good pictures to show of it though, and me if like all of what I have is like I don't go anywhere. Yeah, it's like I would love to photograph like a completely different city, as long as I do the research about their public privacy laws first, because like I don't want to get in trouble for that.
We organize to travel. I never stay in New York.
Hmm.
So you come in Italy first, and I come New York.
If I could find if you could get me like a free place to sleep, that would probably help.
We make a joint venture with the university, because in Bologna there is the oldest university of Europe.
Oh wow, that sounds interesting. Is it prestigious?
Yeah,
That's cool.
because you told me out of the live you work for University of New York,
Hmm.
and what do you do?
I I photograph events. I edit videos. I record videos. I do corporate headshots and a bunch of other stuff. I also like provide some of the visuals for like marketing campaigns and stuff like that.
And which other state in USA you see?
If I was to go to a different state, like I think if I was to go to a different state, it would probably be San Francisco, California. Yeah, that's probably like one of the most like New York like states without being in New York, and then they have like beautiful scenery and skies and the whole 9 yards. It's just
But
very hilly.
when you choose the photo to send me, you prefer always send your photo of New York.
I guess that's where I take all my pictures.
How do you see the other country out of the county of New York? Photographic in speaking of photography.
How do I see other countries?
Yeah.
I
How do you see? So I tell you Texas for the land, or San Francisco for the beach, or this one in this. I can't. I I try to find the word.
should I speak?
With what photographic eye do you see the other state?
I just see everything as photographic potential at this point. I mean, from what I have seen, I wouldn't mind going to like certain parts of India just because they are so populated and colorful, and they have like such a diverse aspect of their culture that I would like to experience one day. But it'd be really interesting to see. I would love to go to Japan just because I am a huge nerd about like Japanese cartoons and the video games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like their whole street photography and photography community are like second to none because they're very passionate about it. I would love to go to like your country. I would love to go to Italy. I mean, everything I've seen from Italy is beautiful. It's like this. The people are so passionate over there. I would love to go over there. I mean, Spain. I mean, I'd love to go to Germany. It's like I can only do so much in my life, though. I mean, so I don't know. It's just all potential to me. I mean, I'd love to go to Australia, but Australia's got a spider problem. You know, like it's just potential. All things to photograph.
What Marcus have on the mind when he was a child?
I don't even know at this point in time. Like I always told people that high school was like another lifetime ago for me, so I don't even want to know what childhood was for me at this point. I mean, because like when you're a child, you barely know who you are as a person. It's and then it's like my memory is so fuzzy on my childhood. Anyways, it's like I almost can't even answer that question. Yeah, it's like I was just dealing with school stuff at that point. Like, am I going to pass this test? Am I going to fit in? Which I didn't. And so on and so forth. I mean, it's just all about me trying to find my identity, which is like I'm still going through that process. So I guess nothing has changed. I love their orange heads. It's a cute one.
How many different kind of birds there are in Central Park?
Well, that kind of varies depending on the migration season because stuff flies in, stuff flies out. It rotates. So it could be any amount because there's a lot of birds and b there are a lot of parts of Central Park. And it's like if you go on the right day, you'll see a bunch of stuff depending on where you are and what the migration season is because sometimes stuff is just there for like maybe 1 or 2 weeks or even a day. It depends. So I can't even give you a hard number on that one. That is me, probably 30 pounds ago. Thank you, pandemic.
What do you see in your eyes in this photo?
A person being forced to get a photograph taken because that's my job headshot.
And excuse me, a call. And I changed totally question.
Mm-hmm.
How is your breakfast this morning?
Oh, what you caught me eating on while waiting for this thing to begin? Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
I see. For me, it was like a lunch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it had eggs in it, so I think it qualifies as a breakfast. And this is America, where breakfast, depending on what restaurant you go to, can be any time.
Italian breakfast only a little cheesecake, like
Mm.
a cake, a little cake, or a cappuccino or a coffee.
Yeah, you guys got better, healthier portions than we do over here.
And Marcus, I now we go more or less with the end of the call, with the live, and I give you 2 minutes to talk about what do you want. The first thing you have on inside your head that you want to transmit to other people.
what's inside my head that I want to transmit to other people. I mean, there are so many different things behind that question. It's like I guess with me, sometimes it's just like related to like photography stuff, and it's like it seems like there's no photography community depending on where you go, because it's like a whole bunch of brand tribalness fighting each other. And it's like that part of it annoys me. I kind of just want people to go out, take pictures, and enjoy it. It doesn't matter what you're using. Just have fun while you do it. Make art, create something. Don't just sit at a keyboard, watch YouTube videos, and think you know everything about photography, because you're not a photographer until you do it. And doing it and watching it and doing it and reading about it are two very different things, especially if you're like doing it professionally, because if you're not doing it professionally, you have like no idea of like the amount of stress that goes through the photographer and like what they're experiencing, like what the situation is. And it's like sometimes people could think they can do whatever the person is doing better, but they have no experience to back it up. It's like that kind of thing. It's like it's hard to know what a person is doing with this stuff until you're actually doing it. You don't know how a person sees things like regarding camera gear and stuff like that until you actually start doing it like the way that that other person's doing it. And because like it's all just experience, it's all preference, it's all subjective. It's like there's no right answer, there's no right camera for every person. It's all personal. Everybody shoots what they shoot for their own personal reasons. And it's like trying to force your own personal reasons on top of somebody else's own personal reasons don't fix anything. Just talk technique, talk joy, talk about enjoying photography. And sometimes I feel like nobody ever does that. And to me, photography is like the most fun thing to really do, because I never thought I'd be an actual photographer. I put it off for so long. It's like because for starters, I'm cheap. You know, it's like I didn't think I'd buy like a $600-700 camera, only to have it collect dust in the corner, which lo and behold, it didn't, and that whole thing turned into a freaking financial black hole that I love, basically. But it's like photography's fun. You don't get the fun of it just sitting at home. You don't get shots of like these all these diverse people just sitting on your couch. You don't photograph birds sitting on the couch. It's fun to go out and do it. Is my 2 minutes up? If I
Yeah.
okay, because I embarked on a rant that I did not expect to go on, to be honest.
And what are your plans to from tomorrow to the end of the year?
What will I be using? I mean, I got a lot of stuff, and that's kind of like a rotating question answer at this point. I mean, Nikon's new 51.2 that I got like a month ago. I think I love that thing. That's a great freaking lens. I mean, that's definitely one of them. Like it all depends on what I'm shooting, to be honest.
And now you can make me a question.
Why did you randomly decide to ring me up on Facebook to get me to do this? I'm curious.
Why? Excuse me, Marcos.
Why am I here doing this interview? What about my work possessed you to want to do an interview with me?
All the interview
Yeah.
I start because I can't go out to make a photo
Mm-hmm.
at the start of the year because I have a problem of my leg. So, last year in August, so I have the chair with the mm, uh,
The wheelchair.
Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the bracelet later. So I stay like 9 months without go out and make photo.
Okay.
So I think how I can stay in contact with my friend
Mm-hmm.
and talk about photo. So I live the 2020 in the bed in a bad time, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start the 2021 in the same time, in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I start this, and I arrived today to 258 live.
Mm-hmm.
I think I go until I'm not tired, because I like so much stay in contact, because also because I don't know if we meet we ever meet because is 4 year we know ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
but with this we also see and talk. Is it was a possibility to know better us, and also this with the other people make like net,
Mm-hmm.
and make a joint venture with other people, and talk about positive things
I
that
hope I was positive.
with other people can take only 1 minute of the live,
Mm-hmm.
and make with him or herself. And the last question is, tomorrow morning you wake up and
I have to give a PC answer to that question. So I will probably wake up and at some point in time make breakfast.
with a big New Yorker breakfast.
It might be oatmeal, actually.
I thank you, Marcus, again.
Thank you.
I thank you also, Monica, the people who live and who listen and see us now, and the people who see and listen from tomorrow to the YouTube channel Miraggiodilux. And I will send you the link, and you can give to your friends.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope they enjoy it because this is interesting. Quite fun, actually.
And as you want, I'm here.
Yeah, we should
When
talk more.
when you have other photo to show me, and other word and things to to join with me.
Mm-hmm. I
Thank
hope you
you,
feel better.
Marco.
Thank
Have
you.
you a good Saturday.
You too. You have a good rest of your Saturday and a good Sunday as well. I hope you start feeling better.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.